Hallelujah. Give it, hallelujah. The highest praise. Hallelujah. Give him the highest praise. Hallelujah. Give him the highest praise. In the morning when I wake up, in the night when I wake up, I will lift up my voice to heaven and give you the highest praise. Hallelujah to my King. Hallelujah to my Father. Hallelujah to my Jesus. I bow before the throne. When I look at all the wonder and I see all the creation, the beauty of the universe, you never change. You never lie. You never change. You never change. Hallelujah to my Jesus. Hallelujah. 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 Give it. Hallelujah. The highest praise. Hallelujah. Give him the highest praise. Hallelujah. Give me the highest praise.
Come the praise, Jehovah. Come the worship, Jehovah. It is of the praise. Come the praise. It is of everything. Oh, the worshiping. Oh, he gave me life. I will praise his name. I'm here to praise my God, oh, because he gave me life. Come celebrate, come jubilate, come now worship him. He deserves the praise. Hallelujah, give him the higher praise. Hallelujah, give him the higher praise.
Hallelujah. Give it. Hallelujah. The highest praise. Hallelujah. Give him the highest praise. Hallelujah. Give me the highest praise. Ooh, hallelujah. Oh, yeah, yeah. Hallelujah. 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 Hallelujah to my Jesus. Hey, hallelujah. We praise to Jehovah. Lift up your hands and worship. Lift up your voice and pray. Hallelujah. I lift up my life for Jesus. I'll be worshiping you, Yahweh, Yahweh. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Hallelujah to Jesus.
Philanthropy, the Communist Africa Foundation. I will spend more time trying to raise money to fund the foundation, in addition to what is going on to expand and grow that, so we continue to help Liberians, primarily in education, grow the foundation, other things, focus on education, on STEM education, I might add. And then I will also focus on the business side, hoping that, the business environment will improve so that, Liberian businesses can be successful and thrive. And so I will focus on the business side as well. And focusing on philanthropy and the business is how I will channel my energy to help the Liberian people if in the unlikely case I'm not successful in becoming president of Liberia. I tell people, you bring your ball to the game, they don't choose you, you don't take your ball and leave. We'll stay engaged, we'll stay involved, we'll just help in a different way. We'll not be able to impact all 5 million Liberians, which is our goal, our aspiration, our wish, but we'll be able to help thousands of Liberians, and that's not a bad thing. That's not a bad legacy. Now, to my brave, feeling that we try for the presidency, Liberians went in a different direction. It was their choice. It's okay. We're not going to be vexed with anybody. People make choices. It's okay. And then we'll focus on the areas we have some control over. and will help the country and impact Liberians in that way.
With all of this sort of explanation here, let me poke into your political mind here a little bit. Why did Alexander Cumming not even take a shot at the senatorial seat for his own company? Why? Because we all frowned on that bidding of a lot of things happening. The lawmakers who saw them rationing money unbelievably, considering all that is going. Why can't we even start taking a change from in the first branch of government? Why can't you take a shot at the senatorial seat for Maryland County? Why the
Yeah, because Alfonso, the reason why we entered politics, and this is a good question, it's an important point. The reason why we entered politics was the desire to impact all 5 million Liberians, to have scale, because I felt and believe that the experiences I've been blessed to have had lend themselves to trying to impact the entire country. And while the Senate plays an important role in that effort, as a single senator, 1 out of 30, it's difficult to have the sort of impact I would like to have. And so it's almost that simple, is to focus. You see, I believe, and this is a good conversation for us to talk about us as a people, Liberians, is that I don't think we set our ambitions high enough. Instead of just we try to punish ambition, and it's because too often we've been disappointed, we've been lied to, extenuating factors come into. So Liberia will have an ambition to do X, that will be their plan A. And even before they even start really working on it, they're already working on plan B. They're already assuming, oh, something will happen, something will go wrong. And then they start working on plan B, and they end up with plan B or even less. I want to change that paradigm. I want to change the environment so that we can focus on our plan A. And my life experience is when you focus on your plan A and you focus on it, 9 out of 10 times you achieve it. Yes, there's always a possibility it doesn't work. But once you start focusing on that possibility it doesn't work, that's kind of where you end up, right? As opposed to saying, what are the barriers to start serve our people, and I used to work serve people because I think it's a servant leadership role. That's why I say I don't want people to go on vacation. It's not a vacation. They're trying to work to change the lives of our people.
Will provide the CPP much greater space for reflection on how we better position ourselves to respond to the needs of our people for real change. It is not enough that we criticize the government, as we rightly should, but also that we continue to demonstrate that the CPP is a better alternative by holding ourselves to the highest standards of democratic leadership and accountability. The membership of the Alternative National Congress, the ANC, and my own participation in the CPP impose an obligation to help keep the CPP's action within the framework of these agreements. Of course, my presence is not to commit a wrong, but where it is brought to my attention with supporting evidence that I participated in the commission of violations to the framework agreement by our decision to extend the tenure of the chair and constitute an investigative committee, it becomes my duty as a democratic leader to ensure the wrong is corrected and the legal action reversed. A wrong is a wrong, regardless of who commits it, including myself. A wrong is a wrong, no matter who commits it, including myself. Recognizing and correcting the wrong is not a sign of weakness. It is an attribute of good leadership, and it is honorable. Doubling down.
All right, folks, we want to welcome you to this podcast. Let's just hold on 1 second here. Okay, good afternoon to welcome. I'm Alfonso Ziensot of the Liberia Public Radio and Lpr-Tv. We want to welcome our viewers and listeners across the globe. The political drama is on the rise, and the career of the ANC political leader Alexander Benedict Cummings and the entire ANC is on the rise in Liberia. The talking point is about to start. My guest is standing by back studio is the Secretary-General of the Opposition's Alternative National Congress, is currently in Liberia. Mr. Aloysius will be in my company right here. What next? The future. His guy walked out of the meeting. Is that the doors being closed? What we want to be talking about here. This and many more. We'll be talking here. I'm Alfonso Ziensot of the Liberia Public Radio and Lpr-Tv. Stay tuned. Let's get the ball rolling right here, right now. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Welcome. It's 3:09 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and it's little 7 o'clock, after 7 o'clock in Liberia. The Alternative National Congress Secretary-General, Mrs. Aloysius is standing by to join me in an extraordinary conversation here this afternoon, seeking answers to the political quest or ambitions of the opposition's Alternative National Congress, quote-unquote, the former unions under the banner of 4 political parties' collaborations. Now, the train is gradually derailing. Let me bring in my guest, and we're going to get a conversation going. He's already standing by in Liberia. Mr. Aloysius Todd, good afternoon and welcome on LPR.
Good afternoon, my brother. How are you? And it's a pleasure to appear on your platform, and I'm very glad that you invited me.
Okay, are you a party headquarters this afternoon here? I've seen like the banner of ABC Unity and still there.
Yes, I'm still at the party headquarters. I'm sitting in my office, and that's the banner of the political leader of the ANC, Mr. Alexander Cummings. Correct.
Okay, I know it will sound redundant and kind of a little bit repetitive to ask to introduce yourself, but this network, we always like to keep information proportionate. Every day we have different viewers, different people passing through because of the kind of conversation, so it would be unfair if I don't ask to introduce yourself that way to hear strictly from the house's mouth. Can you just take a few minutes, introduce yourself, we'll get right down to the issue.
My name is Aloysius Toh. I'm a household name in Liberia. I worked extensively in the civil society movement of Liberia, particularly protecting and defending the rights of Liberians, conducting public interest advocacy for the downtrodden and the dejected of society. That I did for almost close to 20 years, and then I transitioned into politics. In addition to that, I'm a practicing lawyer, so that's all about me.
Okay, very nice and simple. Thank you for the services and what advocacy that you are rendering. So let's do a little bit quick housekeeping here, and trust me, we're going to get down to the real core issue. How come this transition into politics? Why you people like politics business so much? Is that by winning basket in the country?
Look, I did advocacy for academic freedom when I was a student, elementary student and junior high student, against the Doe administration, together with University of Liberia students. And then I became a human rights advocate, and I also won international distinction for almost 20 years, trying to bring change to society, thinking that people can be encouraged, people in government can be encouraged to bring about change in government when you are on the outside. That became quite impractical considering the Liberian context. And so, having spent 20 plus years in the human rights advocacy in this country, which also led me into prison under the administration of Charles Taylor, when Charles Taylor charged me with treason. I had to spend 8 months in prison, and eventually I had to flee the country with the assistance of some foreign powers and went into exile. So when I returned from exile, I continued human rights advocacy. And then eventually over time I said, look, if you want to bring true change in this country, then you have to be the change maker. Because philosophically, it is said that true change is only brought about by people who themselves are changed in the process of bringing about change. So this is why I joined politics. This is why I joined a political party which fell in line with my thinking, with my national direction. And this is why I'm within the ANC.
Okay, because you have already let the cat out of the bag, because that would have been next question. And that's you lawyers, you guys are small, because there are multiple political parties, endless, some of them standard barrier, no standard barrier, they just all there. And that was the next question I'm going to be coming to, why, but you have led that. Okay, there are a lot of things ongoing. Mr. Toll, we want to first thank you so much for honoring our invitation to appear here, or is to have a authentic conversation for the future of our country. But I want you to listen to this, and then we'll get the ball rolling right away.
Brought to my attention with supporting evidence that I participated in the commission of violations with the framework agreement by our decision to extend the tenure of the chair and constitute an investigative committee. It becomes my duty as a democratic leader to ensure the wrong is corrected and the legal action reversed. A wrong is a wrong, regardless of who commits it, including myself. A wrong is a wrong, no matter who commits it, including myself.
Okay, that was quite fascinating. That was just barely a few days after the walkout of the political leader of the Alternative National Congress, Mr. Alexander Benedict Cummings. A wrong is a wrong. No one, basically what I try to sense out there, no one should be exempted from the laws may be put on the book. A wrong is a wrong. What is going wrong there? This is the document you guys have. So let me first of all ask you, Mr. Toll, besides this framework document here that was adopted on the 25th of April 2020, is there any other document behind the camera that we don't know about, that you guys know? Is there any other document?
What happened is the documents that you are referring to, which was adopted on the 25th of April, you said?
Right.
Yes, that is the framework document. It was actually endorsed on the 19th of May.
If you can, yeah, Mr. Toll, not to interrupt, if you can adjust your camera a little bit so that my viewers, the audience, will know exactly.
It was adopted on the 25th of April and signed. And signed on the 19th of May.
Okay.
And signed on the 19th of May. So you see here. So that is the framework document, actually signed on the 19th of May.
Right.
And it was adopted on the 25th of April and signed on the 19th of May. So if you see here, you see the signatures of the political leaders and the chairpersons, you will understand. Here is it. You will understand what I'm talking about.
Oh yeah,
it was signed on the 19th of May, so it became an official document on the 19th of May.
Okay, so that formed part of the collaboration, the agreements of the four political parties on this band, correct?
This is the political Bible of the collaboration.
Yeah, okay, political Bible. I love that. So let me ask this question here, because be it the opposition, just how we hold GOL accountable, the opposition should not have any free pass or easy pass as well. because these were the conversations that we didn't have the chance or we didn't do enough, I would say, in the media industry, or other people say, well, you know what, Liberia has come to a conclusion, so no need of us talking about it. I'm wondering here, these are different political parties with different political ideologies coming together on a banner. I'm wondering here whether there were some technical meetings, and if so, can you remember how many technical meetings? Because there's some sort of incorporation coming together. There must be some agreement, disagreement, and I could be wrong here and here ahead of my shadow to condense the idea to go as the collaborating force. Was there any technical meeting? Is there a technical committee in place to look at all of these things here?
There were a series of technical committees. I mean, are you referring to from the formation of the CPP?
Yeah. Well, yeah, just
or with respect to current.
Yeah, well, it's still alive. The technical team is still alive.
Okay, so let me just give you a brief historical background. Partisans from the Unity Party, from the ANC, and from the Liberty Party got together after the 2017 elections and felt the need to come together as a collective opposition. So after months of consultations, deliberations, and crafting of preliminary documents, and even signing a document of intent to collaborate, they presented those to their political leaders, their standard bearers at that time. So the Liberty Party guys submitted to, may so rest in peace, the late Councillor Charles Walker Bromskin. The Unity Party guys presented to His Excellency Ambassador Joseph Newman Borkai. The ANC guys presented to Honorable Alexander Cummings. And so when the political leaders were also to seek their endorsement, to seek their gift, and to seek their blessing. And so within that time, they invited the ALP. I think my understanding is that Ambassador Borkai invited Benin Ayure because Benin Ayure supported him during the 2017 elections. That's how come the ALP became part of this whole collaboration. So after that, the political leaders, the four political leaders, now with the ALP, endorsed the idea of the CPP. And so an elaborate program was held. Immediately thereafter, a technical committee was set up to draft the framework document, to draft this document that we now have. Oh, 1 minute. I'm getting low power. Let me just plug this stuff quickly.
Okay. All right. Just folks, just bear with us. We understand what is going on. No, let me do this here. Okay. All right, folks. There you have it. We need to get a.
Okay. So yes.
Okay. All good
so
now?
I'm back. I'm back.
Yeah, okay. All right. Good.
All right. So I'm back. So so a technical committee was set up by the four political leaders, and I think 4 or 5 persons from each political party. And it took us about 8 months to 12 months craft what we now have, about 8 months to 12 months, to craft what we now have as the framework document. So this framework document now is the controlling law of the CPP, is the glue that binds the collaboration together. It is the Bible that everyone in the collaboration preaches, you know, as the instrument of unity and political collaboration or alliance, whatever that is.
Wow. So I'm wondering here, and I know there are a lot of professional people from both parties. The idea, the head of these political parties to even serve as maybe heads of this group here, why was that done? Because eventually one could have guessed that most of the heads, they could have contested. And is there any provision if one political institution, a political party that is joining the collaboration is not contesting, is there any clause in that provision as to what specifically would be their role?
There's no clause that if you are not contesting, this is a rule. Everyone has equal participation. You are free to contest. If for any reason you waive your right to contest, so be it. There's no specific right in it. On the former part of the question, look, these people, these individuals were the political leaders of the four parties, and so the partisans made deference to them. That look, these are our leaders, these are our political leaders, and as political leaders who enjoy the confidence of their constituent political parties, it is also important to give them a place, a special place, an advisory place. And that's why we constituted within the framework document the National Advisory Council, which is not the highest decision-making body of the CPP. And I continue to repeat that. My brother Mo Ali yesterday on one of the talk shows, I think misled the audience that the National Advisory Council is the highest decision-making. No, that is wrong. The framework document didn't say that. It is the National Assembly, which is the highest decision-making body of the collaboration. Now, if you look at the framework document, quite frankly, and you look at the functions of the National Advisory Council under section 9.2, it says, and let me just read that quickly, section 9.2, it says, section 9.3, which is the National Advisory Council. It says, duties and functions of the National Advisory Council. The National Advisory Council shall provide guidance and support as well as make recommendations to the National Assembly and the National Executive Committee. That's all. They just also provide guidance and support and make recommendations to the National Executive Committee and the National Assembly, which is a convention. But they have no power to make decisions as they are currently making. And this is what is bringing the misunderstanding within the CPP. The National Assembly, which is a convention, is the highest decision-making body. And the decisions of the National Assembly are executed and implemented by the National Executive Committee. So the National Advisory Council called them Council of Advisors. They just supposed to serve as advisor. So if you see a particular presiding of the National Advisory Council, like the chair, Nyomli Kanga, usurping the functions of the Executive Committee and making appointments, she has no authority to do that. The four political leaders have no authority to take some of the decisions they are taking. Those decisions are reserved for the National Congress and the National Executive Committee. So to bypass the National Executive Committee and make decisions that are not reserved for them is in violation of the framework document.
Yeah, I see a lot of
these are some of the things that some of the things that Mr. Cummings was talking to, that if we want to bring change, then we have to respect our own laws.
So then,
these are the laws of the collaboration.
So, Mr. Todd, then let me ask you, who is within the collaboration trying to circumvent or rewrite history? Who is doing that?
I wouldn't say who is doing that, but there's a lot of political games going on. There's a lot of political games going on based on the superficial parochial interest of individuals within the collaboration, and as a result of that, they think once they make a political gauge, they can get to the end of that gauge by any and every means possible and necessary. But that is not it. We have to be governed. Mr. Cummings continued to say, look, if the CPP must win state power in this country and respect the rule of law of the country, then the CPP must begin with its own framework document. Look, my brother, this framework document is just 26 pages. Just 26 pages.
Look,
if these guys cannot respect their own framework document, live by it and uphold it, who can trust them to even respect the laws of Liberia? Volumes of laws of Liberia. So Mr. Cummings continued to say, look, we have to live by our own commitment. We committed ourselves to be guided by this document. Any decision we take, regardless of our political interest, must be consistent with this document. And that's why he continues to say.
Okay, regardless of this document, and I have this document, my interest in poking into this, which of course I have the right to do, this is not about CPP. It's about the future of our country. Because you politicians and the politicians in Liberia, more or less consistently continue to gamble the future of that country. You guys came together to form this, and even without even the elections even getting underway now, we are seeing chaos is developing within the CPP. So it is important that we keep this conversation here and share it so that the Liberian people know exactly what we'll be doing. Now, what was the whole ultimate goal of the ANC joining the collaboration? Why you joined the collaboration?
As you are aware, the ANC is was one of the defeated opposition political parties in the 2017 elections. The United Party was one of the defeated opposition political parties in the 2017 elections. The Liberty Party was also one of the defeated opposition political parties in the 2017 elections. The All-Liberian Party of Benoni Uri was also one of the defeated opposition political parties. And so the point is, after all of them were defeated and Mr. Weah became president, it became clear that the Weah administration was very inept, incompetent to deliver this country. And based on observation, it was also clear that the Weah government was a disaster in disguise. And so, irrespective of their own past and contributions to the problems of this country, consultations decided to take place. To do what? To look at a common enemy at a time who was trying to regress against the democratic gains made in Liberia. That common enemy at the time was the CDC government. So the ANC was aware, when we're coming to this collaboration, that we're coming in a collaboration with remnants from the National Patriotic Front of Liberia, National Patriotic Forces of Liberia, the NPP, the NPFL, the rebel faction NPFL, which metamorphosed into the National Patriotic Forces of Charles Taylor. We were aware of that. We were also mindful that some of these people contributed to the carnage and mayhem in this country. Yet, we said to ourselves that, look, if we are prepared with ourselves to redeem this country, then we have to use the numbers. So all those who are coming, regardless of their past, so long they are presenting themselves as born again Democrats, let the ANC embrace them cautiously. And so we embrace them cautiously. And that cautious embrace was such that we said to them, like, neither do we condemn thee, but go and say no more. We said this against the background of the fact that we knew their past from the NPFL and the NPP. Even at the time they started presenting themselves as modern-day Democrats. So it was on account of their commitment to be reformed, to be born again, that the ANC decided to form a marriage with them. And we thought over time that marriage would have been a holy marriage. We did not anticipate that it would have turned out to be an unholy marriage as it is becoming now. So this is why the ANC joined. The ANC was concerned about the downward trend of motherland Liberia under the Weah administration. And in our calculation, we realized that only numbers of the opposition could defeat Weah. And we made that commitment and a determination, not because we knew that one particular group of people feel entitled, that only they alone are ordained to serve as president in this country. The commitment was contingent upon the fact that we were prepared to give the best to Liberia, that we'll search our souls, our hearts, and make sure we present to the Liberian people the best candidate. It is not who has been, and that determination was influenced by the fact that we're going to ask ourselves, now who has been around, now who has worked in government, because most past governments have been disasters. So we did not use work, a job in government as a criteria. The fundamental question was, who can do the job to change this country? And so with that determination, we in the ANC believe that if we went to this collaboration, and if the question is eventually asked, who can do the job in this country to transform this country? Alexander Cummings will emerge as the president, the only political leader within the CPP who can do the job in this country. It was with that determination that we went.
Neither you guys.
Because that determination, which led us into the collaboration, is becoming a self-fulfilling prophecy, as evidenced by the fact that Alexander Cummings continues to win the hearts of Liberians throughout the length and breadth of this country because of the projects he's implementing. He's implemented 40 projects in the 70 projects in 40 districts of the 73 electoral districts in this country. So guess what? We only have 33 more electoral districts for him to cover. And as a result of his work, people are gravitating towards him.
Okay, let's all
communities,
right.
women, men, in
Mr.
districts in the neighborhoods are gravitating towards Cummings, and this is sending shock waves in the political elites, in a clique, in a cabal of the executive committees of the other parties.
Okay, let me come in a little bit
so
here.
Even though most of the partisans support Cummings, but the clique in Moravia feel that they are entitled to power. This is the cause of the problem in the CPP. I'm here with you.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm hearing you now.
We're not going to have a political roller skating here. This is the Liberia Public Radio. These people, you're new then, so you know one another. This is not a stranger. And you go there, and I can tell you for sure, I'm not sure, Liberia does not have a good history of collaboration. Collaboration usually are formed before election, but Liberia has a tendency of forming collaboration because you guys, you're all miserably defeated, and you decided to form the collaboration. It happened to Jabaro Kalon, to Gabriel Bole, and all of those people. After, instead of forming a collaboration before the party, they decided to go on their own to have this. And when Samuel Doe defeated them, they decided to come together. They came together. It didn't still hold a dip of water. Let's talk some critical issue here. I'm looking at this provision. Let me ask you, because your guy was one time served as the chairperson of this rotational thing of leadership within the CPP. One of the provisions here said, only political parties, only accredited political parties, right, should be the one to form part of this collaboration. I can remember on one of these podcasts, and I will have to bring his name because he's all into this here, and we will not allow people to just walk away to introduce some sort of unknown factor into the political discourse of Liberia. What is the relation to the CPP and the COP? Is it a supplementary arm of the CPP? Do they have anything to do with this collaboration? The COP.
The COP is not the COP, which is the Council of Patriots, the quote-unquote Council of Patriots, is not a part of the collaboration.
Do they have
individuals within the COP also form part?
Do they have voice in the collaboration?
Individuals, they have no voice. The COP has no voice in the collaboration. They have no voice. They have even they don't even have observer status in the collaboration. Absolutely, there is no status for the COP.
Okay.
Membership in the COP by any form amount.
Yeah, they consider themselves as
it's only reserved for political parties.
Yeah, they say they consider themselves as a pressure group. That's another disorganized group that I see that is also creating chaos in this thing here. Let me ask you, have you, any time during your guy leadership, are they attending any meeting or were they invited into any conversation within the collaboration?
When our Secretary-General of the CPP and Alexander Cummings was a member of the CPP, the COP wanted to use backdoor means to bulldoze the CPP, and that was resisted. I remember there were many attempts for them to impose themselves, out of arrogance on the CPP.
Yeah, that's the basis of my question, because I can remember in one of his podcasts, Mr. Costa, they were proposing that they wanted either a committee slot. At the time, I believe it was Cummings, and Cummings has refused that. It was it under Cummings' administration as chair of the CPP?
It was under Cummings' administration, correct, precisely. So and that was rejected. Here's the date. Look, they were playing all kinds of games. The games that you see are playing right now, these are the games they were playing. They wanted to strengthen the bargaining power of one or two of the other political parties against the interests of the other existing political party. And we rejected that. We said, look, if COP wants to be a pressure group, you can be pressure group. But there's no space for the COP in it. And at some point, they brought militants to one of our programs. They wanted to make remarks. We told them, no, you cannot do that. And at that time, thankfully, I was Secretary-General of the CPP. And by history, nobody can intimidate me. I fear nobody but fear itself. We told them no.
Since that time here, because there are root causes that got us to be where we are today. And it is important these things are put in within the public domain, because we will not allow anybody to think that they're going to try in the sort of modern time of democracy to introduce something within the democratic process of Liberia because of political purposes or because they want to reside over state resources. When that was done, what happens within the collaboration? Was there any discussion to take a fine line moving forward. This is what we need to do to make that clear-cut deal. Was there any conversation or anything important in black and white?
Nothing happened. There was no consultation. We're aware of the games. Deployed of the guys in the COP to come and seek relevance within the CPP was through the knowledge of certain political leaders. And that particular political leaders was trying to use the COP to increase his bargaining power, hoping that when the COP comes in the CPP, they were going to execute his political line just as they are executing on the so-called platform they are running right now. But that was rejected, that was resisted, and nobody paid attention to it. Nobody even thinks about the COP in the CPP. Nobody even recognizes the COP in the CPP. The COP is like a non-existent entity within the CPP does not even think about the COP. So yes, the CPP move forward without thinking about the COP. And the COP, wherever they are, whoever they are, whatever they are doing, may God bless them. But they are not in any form as an institution associated with the COP. Don't get me wrong, Mr. Costa is an executive member of the ALP, of Benin Ayuri. He's an executive member. Darius DeLong, who is an advisor of the COP, is also an executive member of the Liberty Party. Mo Ali, who is the Secretary-General of the COP, is also an advisory member of the COP. So these individuals who are within the constituent parties of the collaboration are also associated with the COP.
So that's one of the problems that get us to be where we are today, because people have multiple interests in a lot of places. I will either be with my party. If you can't work with my party, I will be with this group here. We shall say it is causing problem and problem over problem in Liberia. Mr. Toll, talk to me about this. So what I call a new introduction to the democratic process of Liberia. That has not happened. There are multiple violations, because if you guys are not careful, the Supreme Court or even the Election Commission, the COP, if you're not careful, Judge Weir, in as much we all frown on these failed policies of this government, if you guys not put your house in order, Judge Weir will flog you. And I'm just saying it here, because potential violations of people's basic right in terms of voting is gradually creeping, and people are not speaking to it for whatever reason, because they want to protect their voting bloc. That is very wrong. Speak to me about this so-called voting bloc or pledge delegates. Was that a conversation? How did it come about? Why will you tell me if I'm a member of a Liberty Party or ANC? Does that mean that's not all Republican here or Democrat vote for the Democratic Party? We need to start discussing issues that are matters to the country. But you guys put together, you're telling the Liberian people, okay, if Mr. One person agree, let all of them vote for the Liberty Party. And so we see people creating all sort of artificial simultaneous equation. When 300 go to this, 500 go to this, you win it. What is that? Is that how you guys want to take our country now? When you people are elected, we will not have the authority to vote in our country? Is that a conversation? That's why you're forming this collaboration?
Look, I tell you, I'll tell you, my brother Alphonsus, the idea of block voting is a nonsensical proposition, wherever it's coming from. And I can show you it's already dead on arrival. It's not going to survive. And as I said several times, it is not only appallingly abhorrent, but it is constitutionally undemocratic. As a result of that, we in the CPP, who in our preamble inform the world and the Liberian people that, and I read verbatim, we in the CPP, we the people of the four political parties do hereby solemnly establish and adopt this framework document in accordance with the Constitution and the elections laws of Liberia. So let's come to the issue of block voting. As I was saying yesterday, not only is it undemocratic, but it violates at least 3 fundamental articles of the Liberian Constitution. Article 50 of the Liberian Constitution, for instance. which talks about universal adult suffrage. One man, one vote. It did not say I'm going to give my vote to some godfather to go vote, or I'm going to go sign a resolution so we can vote in group. It didn't say that. That principle says one man, one vote. Imagine in 2023, if the 73 lawmakers and 30 senators signed a resolution and said, since we're elected as representatives of the people, we are now going to do block voting and we'll vote for George Weah. These same people, these theatrics will be passing all around here making noise. But they are brave enough to break the law because they think it's serves their political interest. There's a second article of the Constitution that it violates, and that is Article 77 of the Liberian Constitution. That article says elections within the Republic of Liberia, any elections for public office, be it for political party or national elections, shall be by secret ballot. Secret ballot means nobody knows who you are voting for. Only you and your God know who you are voting for. So if 310 delegates come and sign resolution to vote for candidate X, it means 310 people know who the other people are voting for. That defeats the purpose of Article 77 of the Liberian Constitution, which calls for secret ballot. It means the ballot is no longer secret. Third, a third article of the Liberian Constitution that has been violated, that will be violated by that nonsensical proposition of black voting, is one. This is Article 81 of the Constitution, which allows candidates to have the right to canvass for votes at primaries and at convention. So if you're weighing the backyard already some resolution for candidate X, how is candidate Y going to have the opportunity to canvass for their votes? So those guys, I don't know what they are thinking about. I don't know who's really advising them, or they think they will play political games and go unchecked. But as I said yesterday, the ANC is not going to allow that to happen. We are not, and I can assure you, I can say it for free. The ANC will not let that work. It will not work.
Okay.
There will be no block voting in the collaboration. Take my word for it. There will be no block voting in the collaboration. The ANC will not allow it.
Yeah.
And if they try to manipulate the system, we'll use both internal and external mechanisms to make them conform to the law.
What could be the example of that? What could be a perfect example of that? Are you hearing me, Mr. Toro?
Yes, I'm hearing you now. I'm hearing you now.
Yeah, you say you're going to use both internal and external. So I'm asking what could be a perfect example of such, external or internal, to make them to conform to that.
Look, we have grievance mechanisms within the CPP, and if anybody try to force their way, for instance, and there is this myth out there, there is this misinformation out there. I'll tell you one thing, and I can prove that. These guys who are running around here, they are running around as if they have not even read the framework document. There is nothing called majority decision in the CPP. So whether three political parties win and think they will manipulate any process, it's not going to work. I'll read for you. And let me just give you the link quickly.
So while you're doing that, I believe the four groups came together on the basis, do you guys, before taking some consequential decision, how does it work? There's a vote on it or what?
The principle was, which is the framework document.
Yeah, because I'm asking because the thing here, there are four political parties. If three are not forming a coalition within a coalition, so you alone, you are left in course. So the alternative involved there is you either be with us, you either speak our language, or you go on your own.
No, we are not speaking language on my own. Don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. Look, if you have few individuals who feel they are so accustomed to state power and they cannot let it go by all costs, who themselves are not even enjoying the support of their broad membership, then you have to stand up for something. So we are not alone. We have the framework document on our side. The framework document is clear that all decisions of the collaboration shall be by consensus. They say by majority. And consensus means all the four parties must agree. If consensus is not possible, then the next stage is compromise, which then becomes a win-win situation. You getting that? And before you get to the issue of compromise, you have to bring in external arbitrators. So it's not going to be left with the manipulation of few individuals. So as I was indicating, the internal and external mechanisms that I was referring to that we will use to make anyone who wants to be wayward to conform to the framework agreement, we have a grievance process within the CPP. We will take advantage of that. If anybody violates the framework agreement, and we try to convince them they cannot listen, we use the internal grievance mechanisms. If the internal grievance mechanism cannot work, we're calling the Elections Commission of Liberia. If the Elections Commission cannot interpret the law, enforce the law the way it ought to enforce it, we're calling the Supreme Court of Liberia. So nobody's going to play around here and think you manipulate the process.
Does it still look like a collaboration? What I'm hearing from you and what we are seeing visually by does it look like a collaboration?
It is a collaboration. Look, let me tell you, these are inherent contradictions. These are contradictions that are associated with a group of people with diverse interests coming together. There will be rogue individuals in every institution. There will also be individuals who try to stand upright in the institution. It's everywhere, even in the house. There will be a rogue child in the household, and there will be a very good child in the household. Even with the husband and wife, there will be probably a rogue husband or a rogue wife, and one person will be right. So you expect it. Can we say it's not a marriage? Yeah, it's a marriage. Can we say it's not a family? It's a family. So this is a collaboration.
Are you surprised to see what is happening, or was that something anticipated by ANC?
Well, as I told you, we told certain individuals that, look, neither do we condemn thee based on your passport. Go and say no more, so we'll collaborate. But with what is happening, look.
Just bear with us. As soon as he gets back, we're going to bring in that, as you note, Liberia, the internet system there too is challenging. And we'll reach out to the rest of the folks, and hopefully they also will answer our phone call to give them the opportunity. All right. Thank you so much, Mr. Toh. Yeah, go ahead. Are you there?
So, yes, surprised, but I'm shocked. I'm really surprised. Looking at the character of some of the individuals we are dealing with, I'm not surprised, but I'm shocked. Because I think we promised the Labrenpo to be change agents. We promised the Labrenpo to be reformed. We promised the Labrenpo that we were born again based on our past in the destruction of this country. So yes, I'm shocked, but I'm not surprised.
Okay, let's see here. Let me see what I can get you to get this video to straighten up. It's still kind of frozen from backstage there. Just bear with us. Okay. All right, good. Let's do a little bit backtracking here, and it is not meant to dig up old wounds. In fact, old wounds are already they are using what they call some high tech to bleach them here. The last time around, I'm not sure. Maybe get me wrong if I'm just heading ahead of my shadow here. The last time around, your party ANC was in the race. Now Ambassador Boycott, one of the main challengers, we don't even know yet, because I want your provision call for primary also to have these people elected. I'm not sure whether these people they had their primary or they were calling the endorsement. We saw that in itself is ridiculous, because when you form a collaboration and you inviting your friend who is also expressing interest to come to an endorsement, that is you're telling the person, okay, come agree with me that I would be the standard bearer. So this your whole thing here is just a headache you guys are creating for us in Liberia. Your guy, Mr. Cummins, did not lend support to Boycott in the past. Was there any reason at the time he was contesting and when he desperately needed that? And if so, why now? What is the difference? What is the change in he Boycott now to even form collaboration with him?
I'm not in a position to speak for Mr. Borkai, and I'm not in a position to determine why Mr. Cummings did not support Borkai in 2017. What I can say at this time is Ambassador Joseph Borkai and Alexander Cummings are two good friends. These are two respected, respectable statesmen, and whom I respect, whom I talk to regularly. And as I have said over and over, they are good citizens of Liberia. And two of them need to talk to each other frequently, as they are currently doing, to decide the future of this country. And quite frankly with you, look, certain people are just not worth to sit on any table to discuss the future of this country. But I think Ambassador Borkai and Alexander Cummings, they have qualified themselves to discuss the future of this country.
So who are those that Nanta should be at the head table to talk about the future?
Well, you are a Liberian, you are a participant observer. You should know some of them.
I have no idea. We don't have secret here, Mr. Toh.
But because of historical accident, they found themselves discussing the future of this country. So, but we'll get there gradually.
Will you still engage those very people you are referring to?
Repeat the question.
Will you still engage those people that shouldn't be at the head table about the future of Liberia? Will you still work with them?
Why will you even imply those are the people I'm engaging, or I have to engage?
Okay. Let me ask you here.
It's most likely that I may not even engage them.
Okay.
But your question implies that they are within the CPP, and I didn't say that. I didn't say they are within the CPP. I just said that there are individuals who are not even worthy to sit on any table in this country to discuss the future of this country.
Okay. Let me ask you.
But I also follow up to say Joseph Borkai and Alexander Cummings, by their history and their past, have qualified themselves to sit on any table in this country to discuss the future of Liberia.
Okay. Let me ask this question here. Now, the CPP, when last, since your guy, Mr. Cummings, walked out of the meeting, when last he ever talked to his colleagues? Can you remember?
He's been talking to them. In fact, the same day he left the meetings, he talked to Yomlin, he talked to Ambassador Borkai, and the next day they had another meeting which he attended. And I think I understand that there was another meeting yesterday which he also attended.
So what is the point of this, and when will we see a full conclusion? Are they getting back to base, or conversation still going on behind the camera?
From the meeting yesterday, I think they formed a united front. They've recommitted themselves to respecting the framework document and operating within the confines of the framework document. So yes, the CPP is strong, and those who are on the sideline in the camp of the ruling party who felt that the disagreement within the CPP was a perfect pretext for their triumph, political triumph. I think they will have a rude awakening now that the CPP is back on track.
Is Mr. Cummings and the ANC still trust the work of this collaboration, or are we going to see another time?
The CPP is, so far, the CPP is the only viable alternative that can defeat we are right now. And let me tell you this: no one person in the CPP in the CPP can defeat we are.
Yeah. So what I'm
we have defeated all of them in 2017. Individual. In 1 minute, excuse me. No one individual in the CPP can defeat we are alone. 2017, we have defeated all of them individually. It is only a collective CPP, regardless of who they bring, can defeat we are. Only a collective CPP can defeat we are. A divided CPP, an individualized CPP cannot defeat we are. So no one particular person can claim glory that only they alone, or no one political party can claim glory that only they alone can defeat we are. Because we have defeated all of them individually 2017. So if only they come together and support one candidate, regardless of who that candidate is, and I have to make my case, and that the only candidate.
All right, folks, there's Mr. Aloysius, the Secretary-General of the Opposition's Alternative National Congress. We will also contact the Unity Party, the Liberty Party, ALP. We spoke with Madam Senator Kangat, but at the time it was in the middle of this. Just bear with us. Okay, let's see here. He's back. Okay, all right. So, are you there now?
Hello?
Yeah.
Yeah, so as I was saying, so the only candidate the only candidate backed by the CPP who can straighten this country and change this country, transform this country is Alexander Cummings.
Okay. So we want to get a takeaway on this afternoon here, Liberia, USA, and the rest of the world, because you guys are creating headache for us. What is the current conversation ongoing right now as we speak? Is there any other possible scenario that your man will walk away again to have history repeat itself? What is the current conversation going on within the CPP that we need to know?
Well, I'm not in a position to make guesses, but what I can assure you is that Alexander Cummings is going to remain a CPP. He's going to be part of the CPP. He's going to ensure that the people in the CPP live up to the framework document, and the CPP is going to be the next ruling party in this country.
Yeah, we will come to that, the next ruling party, because I don't even trust you. I don't even trust the government. You guys are all helping to create this chaotic situation. There's a specific reason why he walks away. And if conversation is ongoing, we need to know specifically whether his request will be met or whether it is on to review. And if that does not happen, what would be the future of the ANC? Or are we going to come back here again and have this sort of conversation?
I didn't get a question quite clearly, but if I can just pick up the few pieces I gathered. So yes, if any situation presents itself tomorrow, and Mr. Cummings try to persuade his colleagues and they don't want to listen and they want to proceed undemocratically, he's going.
Oh, well, that's the beauty of Liberia. So let's just wait. Hopefully, he gets back, and then we will be able to continue this conversation. He gone off. I'm not sure whether the phone calls to interrupting. Yeah. Yeah. Uh-huh.
I think that's the network. I think the weather is getting bad. So.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, we understand. That's why we want Liberia fixed. And unfortunately, people who are supposed to take the lead, everybody hairboarding. Yeah. So what I'm saying, what is the contingency plan right now in the midst of this conversation ongoing? What is he taking to the table?
Well, you mean contingency plan in terms of the ANC?
ANC, you walk out. There was a meeting. You walk out, and which of course you have the right to do.
We walk away. We walk out. We walk out of a meeting. We did not walk away from the CPP. So we are back. We are in a CPP. We did not want to use our presence to legitimize an unconstitutional decision, and so we walked out of the meeting, which others were trying to force to make an unconstitutional decision. And they realized it.
What was the reason?
They have reversed that decision. And so we are going to move on.
Yeah. What was the reason? Because there was a press statement coming from your office as well relative to why you walk from the meeting to expressing your dissatisfaction. Oh, my goodness. Let's see here. This guy.
So the thing is, the chairperson of the collaboration set up a committee, the Agro Grievance and Ethics Investigation Committee. Only at a meeting only attended by the 4 political leaders. And as I told you, the 4 political leaders do not have the authority to take such decision. It has to be the National Advisory Council, which I think comprises about 20 persons. And there is no way in the framework document that.
Are you hearing me? I'm not hearing you. I'm not hearing you, Mr. To. Oh. All right, let me just get this off the screen. I having a very difficult time, I believe, with the internet system here in the weather in Liberia. We really don't have control over. So let's wait and see. Hopefully he gets back here so that we can continue. There's still some answer question that we need to know. And hopefully, we need to know when this is going to come to an end. How long this conversation is there? Any timeline? These are all very important questions that we need to know. Hopefully, Mr. Toh will be back here. Let's take a quick break here, and then. But let's just go to let's go to the video here. The argument of Mr. Cummings following ANC walkout and the press conference that was held subsequently.
It is an attribute of good leadership, and it is honorable. Doubling down on wrongs is honorable and a product of a democratic leadership. Where there is insistence on not correcting our collective mistake, to continue to proceed wrongly in spite of clear violations of our laws, I will not be a part of it. We owe the Liberian people an obligation to do things differently, to be better than this government. If not, how are we united? On the issue of the Unity Party, insofar as it risks undermining what we have agreed to collectively, the actions of the constituent member party cannot be said to be internal. When we agreed to act as one in the CPP, we also agreed to be publicly judged. The undemocratic action of one member party in violation of the core values and guiding principles of the CPP, its own constitution and net guidelines, casts a broader expression on the CPP and reflects fully on all of us. Either we believe in what we agree to and stand for, or we don't. We simply cannot have it both ways. To change our country, we must choose, as hard as it sometimes will be, not to stand, even with friends, when we know they are wrong. I have made my choice, and it is to stand with anyone who is trying to stand right. I know I will have to stand alone sometimes, or anger some friends and allies by doing so. This too is the price I'm willing to pay for the change I believe we must make to make our country better. Fellow citizens, change must begin with us, with me.
All right, in an exclusive conversation with the of the Alternative National Congress, Mr. Aloysius Toh, but I joined right for it. Apparently, it seems the internet service or the weather conditions is sort of challenging. I'm not sure when I'm going to be back here, but I will try to have him here. But in the meantime, it's also important that we get a take of Liberian, to whether you are in Liberia or outside of Liberia. This number is also available via WhatsApp. The future of the collaborations, seeing what we're saying, what is unfolding right now. Is there any hope that this collaboration with these people change? Because it's all about political bigotry. Complete power struggle is ongoing, and someone is trying to circumvent to change rules overnight. And that's the most dangerous and scary part for some of us. We have to talk about it. So this is not just within the purview of the CPP again. It's more or less national issue. Because if they cannot execute, if they cannot put in place a transparent process that will even qualify them to be head of this political institution, I wonder when it becomes president, that we can trust them with the overall office. I'm wondering, even if they are elected, imagine, finding competent people or to even make an appointment. It's going to be a chaotic situation. So it is important that we dig up all of this. Let me open the phone lines here. Hopefully, Mr. Toll will come back here. I'm not sure, but I actually having a difficult time here. But the number is there, 682-433-8802. Do you think that the collaboration will survive, knowing what we know, hearing what we are hearing right now? And the leaders, they are all muted, most of them. We are not hearing Joseph Boyka. For God's sake, he's a statesman. So if people are trying to change these rules right now with this whole delegate try to ingest something that has not been part of the arrangement, it's alarming, it's serious. So we can't just say it is CPP affairs. No, these people, they are seeking for state office. They want national office. So we need to start checking then their decision-making process and as to how, if they are elected tomorrow, how do we lead Liberia? Let me go to this number here. 267 number, Korata, good afternoon.
Yeah, good afternoon, Mr. So how you doing today?
Good, how are you?
I'm doing wonderful.
Okay.
My name is Lucine. I'm calling from Philadelphia area.
All right, Philadelphia, Philly, welcome. Look, the CPP here, will these people, will it survive?
So, that is what we always say that, like even our country, we all just have to sit down and think our country need better. Liberia deserve better. The CPP cannot survive because it even came to power with lies and deception. Okay? Because yesterday they told the Liberian people, like just one day, the main institute that you were saying that they tell the Liberian people that they have to change. They are coming to make the change. But today, look at Mr. So what is happening within the midst of this institution. They're going against each other. There's no vision that they even are put out there for the Liberian people. There's no vision for even the young people. There's no vision for none of these counties. And personally, we're talking about election coming 2023. Up to now, we can't hear any good thing that coming from the institution. But all we can see on social media, from one problem to another, from another problem to another. So that's simply telling us, like, these people that are talking about the change, they are the autonomy. What is autonomy that they're talking about for Liberia? And that's why most of the time, we differ with these people because we know they're not in the interest of the Liberian people. Because if they're actually in the interest of the Liberian people, Mr. Pope, these people will be able to compose themselves because they say they want to be able to help the Liberian people, but because they are contemplating on how they can be able to benefit themselves. So that's why they're fighting among themselves, just giving for the position. And that's why I think, to my opinion, they will not stand because they're still fighting among themselves. So that alone will show that there's no standing between these institutions.
All right, that's your view and your opinion. To views and opinions expressed here does not in any way represent the management and staff of the Liberia Public Radio, but we do have to facilitate this hardcore conversation. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mr.
All right. Yeah, so just call, hopefully because this is the release here that was issued following that incident. Alexander Cumming walks out of the CPP leaders meeting in protest against repeated violations of the framework agreement. And that's what it's all about. It doesn't matter. You don't have to be in government before you can respect your own guidelines. Nobody put you on firing squad. Nobody choke you. You guys sat in your situation room or whatever chaotic room and put these things together. At the end of the day, somebody says somewhere there and they think they want to manipulate the system to introduce something that there was no prior conversation. So why you don't want to go through a real democratic process? You want to bring somebody and just throw that person. You guys, nobody will not shove anybody in the throat of the Liberian people because you want political power. Let me go to this number here. 610 number caller. Good afternoon. What's your name and where are you calling from?
Good afternoon, Brother Alfonso. This is Elijah, calling from Minnesota.
Welcome, Elijah. Go ahead.
I think I wanted for Aloysius to stay so that I can ask him this question. But when he comes back, I hope the question reaches him, or I might likely call back. In the CPP, there's a grievance and ethics committee within the CPP where people take their complaint when they are dissatisfied with certain problem within the CPP. I wanted to ask Aloysius if Cummings, as a man who is abiding by the law, which of course his friends refused to abide by, if he took his complaint to the grievance ethics committee. That was the question I wanted to ask Aloysius too. If the question is no, then Cummings also was in error. Hello?
Oh, yeah. That is, you are saying if or he did not. Let me see here. Maybe I think he having issue either with the system there from his end. Yeah, but I hope I can't really answer for him, unfortunately.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm trying to see here.
He who preached equity must come with clean hands. I expected Cummings to have taken his complaint to the Grievance Ethics Committee and then later go and do his press conference.
Okay. All right, hold on 1 second. Let me see this other number here. 433 number. Caller, are you there? 433, are you there?
Yeah.
Okay, good afternoon. What's your name and where are you calling from?
My name is John, and I'm calling from Maryland.
Okay. Good afternoon. Go ahead.
Yeah. Alfonso, what I think the Liberian people need to understand is that we understand that this is something they're not used to, right? But if you're bringing 4 political parties together, there's going to be a fight. And nobody's dying. Nobody's bleeding. It's a psychological warfare. There's going to be a fight. The Liberian people need to chill. These people will fight. And in the end, the Liberian people will get the result. Even good that they fight. So that the Liberian people can be exposed to the differences between them. So you know who you're voting for. There's nothing wrong with people having political fights. You know, who expected it to be honeymoon? 4 people who are running to be president, you put them together to decide that one person become president. Even if you did it in Africa, you think it's going to be easy? Even if you did it in Europe, it's not going to be easy. There's going to be a fight. And people got to just chill. These things going to happen. Nobody is dying. Nobody's bleeding. It's not physical. It's a psychological, intellectual fight. And so let them have it.
So, okay, let them have it. Yeah, let me ask you, Todd. They are also liable to answer questions here. Do you think they were fully prepared to get into this collaboration? Because collaborations, technically collaboration are formed before even election. But Liberia has a history of forming collaboration. Like I said, it happens in the past during Samuel Doe, and that did not work. They formed a collaboration after they were all defeated and they decided to come together instead of having the collaboration prior to the election.
No, the only preparation you can make for collaboration is to tell yourself, like Alexander Cummings said in his speech, I will do the right thing even if it costs me the presidency of this country. All right?
Yeah.
If each person tells themselves that we will do the right thing for this country's sake, and then we will go and to the primaries, and whomever is chosen, we will put our full effort behind them to benefit this country. Then you're ready. The problem about there's no other preparation you can make for competition. People are selfish. People come with different ideas. Even if you took 4 pastors and tell them, so let's choose between you for one person to be bishop, you will see the kind of fight that.
Yeah, okay. All right, thank you. Let me
individually.
Okay, thank you so much. Let me go to these other numbers. Yeah, a lot of numbers coming in here as well. Yes, a 4475 number 9509. Are you there, caller?
Yep.
Okay, what's your name and where are you calling from?
My name is Walter Kerakwa, Constitution State.
All right, welcome. What's your take?
Thank you. I just listened to the caller. I just left the line. Said Mr. Cummings said that he would do the right thing even if it cost him the presidency. But I see Mr. Kumi with a famous line in our political setting. You cannot do the same thing over and over and expect different results. Mr. Kumi is in a collaboration that they are doing the very thing that they accuse this government of. Not Mr. Kumi particularly, but the rest of the other people in the collaboration are doing the same thing, but he's still in that collaboration. Is he not contradicting himself? Or if you just saying like great people that he's a clean dude, or he, if you vote for him when he becomes president, he will go right back doing the things that these people that they accuse of doing. Because I do not see why would I be in a collaboration with all of the confusion, all of the accusation, the different accusation and dysfunction. If I say I'm a clean man, I'm out of that collaboration. Even if it costs me the presidency, I'm out because I want to be clean. And I believe Mr. Kumi is a clean man, but by associating himself with those people, because there's no way, according to them, the things that they laid on this government, this present government, there's no way you can tell me these other two people in the collaboration, they are not part of those kind of dirty deeds. Benina Yure, the former vice president that served for 12 years, all of them in the same thing, the collaboration. So Mr. Kumi should distance himself, or else we're going to put him in the same group. There's no way he can think. I mean, he can get he's the perfect man.
All right, thank you. That's your views and opinions I express here. Let me go to this number here, 770 number 9427. Caller, are you there?
Is that me?
Yes, 770-9427.
This is Cindy, the global SG for USA. You got the ANC Mr. Attorney Chancellor, so thank you. But let me ask you this question though, because I feel like this floating, so I want to bring light to that.
Yeah.
Yes.
Aloysius is now over. He got disconnected. I think it seems that he having issue coming back. I don't know whether his phone went off here, but if you just want to say something, that you can go ahead.
Well, maybe he can write under the answer the question. Why was Mr. Cummings' time extended, and now we're having political whataboo about other.
Mm-hmm.
In 1 year, I want to say this to the Liberian people. We are Liberians first and foremost. We are Liberians who kill one another. We are Liberians who declare war on one another. And this is our fight. We cannot run away with it. Our frontage. We have to stand and fight. That's a thing that goes. We not don't quit and quit and don't win. You fight if you want change. If Martin Luther King had quit it, you and I would not be here. Our children would not be where they are. If the lawyer called Mandela had quit it, then South Africa would not be what it became. So let's not say that King was even started in the heart by a black woman who you were fighting for. The little girl called Ruby Baker fought literally alone that everybody abandoned she and her family. But today, your children are in school with everybody else. They can decide where they want to go. Now, when people say the Obama term was not possible, that America was not ready for black men until for 200 extra years to come, we have seen history, but we stood and we fought. And we will fight until we get what the Liberian people deserve. We cannot wait. We can't fight our people. Then why did the two-way party, why did we kill those people? Why then did we kill those? Why did we fight 14 years of civil war? But the good thing is this particular collaboration came almost 5 years before the election. They have time to rumble. They have time to scrutinize one another. Mr. So you and I were here. We just saw the Democratic election here. What did it happen? There was debate over debate. There were fundraisers. People left. Millionaires came, they left. Billionaires left. So you know what? This is good timing, but we will stand for what is just and what is for the Liberian people.
Thank you so much. All right, let me go here. We can. Okay, Mr. Tor, are you there? Samson Tor.
The liberal progressive, please, if you don't mind.
The liberal progressive. Okay, let me see.
Are you with me?
Yeah, Liberal, hold on. Let me see if I get this this person calling from long distance. I believe it's Sweden. And then I can come right back to you. Sweden, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. How are you?
Good. Good afternoon or good evening. What's your take? Go ahead quickly.
Thank you. I think you heard Mr. Tu. You see why the problem is within the collaboration. You see the terms you're using on a colleague. We have certain people you don't have to go into sit down on the table and discuss the country. Certain people they are corrupt. The UP is corrupt. Baka and the other group they are corrupt, but they are not corrupt. You see why the problem in the collaboration? Look, let me tell you, these guys got to leave the collaboration because they are calling people they are corrupt, but they still want to be with the people to be within the collaboration with those people. They are denigrating the character of their friends. They are abusing them in the public. Coming left the meeting, you when you say people they are corrupt.
No, but listen, I think when it comes to people attacking both sides, their surrogates, their supporters is just unbelievable. They are off the hook. Both sides are doing that.
No, the surrogates can attack, but he's the secretary for ANC. He's a secretary. He's close to coming.
There are other, but there are other people who are executive of other party too. They are being trained as sort of red meat. Is that fair to mention that as well?
No, not executive like secretary for the head of the institutions. No.
Or even if you can be executive, but
even Mr. Cummings calling the people they are breaking the laws. And Mr. Cummings broke the laws when he extended his term.
So are you saying somebody saying they broke the law? Is that an insult? Or what?
No, no, definitely you are telling your friends they are not qualified within the collaboration.
If they violate the law to mention that?
Yeah, but the people they are violating the laws, they don't respect any tenets of democracy, then why are you with them?
So then what do you suggest? He should he should leave the collaboration?
Yeah, you don't need a collaboration or work in-house with them. You and your work cannot be making
So let me ask on the street. Let me ask you quickly, in what context are you speaking? Are you associated with any of the collaborative party?
Yes, I'm associating with the collaboration. I'm part of the Unity Party.
Unity Party.
Yes. You cannot say, look, even Yakula that was secretary within the economic office. She was minister within the Unity Party.
Okay, hold on one second. Hold on one second. Let me get a different version of it. The Liberal Progressive.
Yes, Mr. So, thank you very much. I think this is laughable, to be honest with you. Because to have
you are Liberty Party person, the last speaker is a Unity Party, and all of you are part of the collaboration.
Me being a Liberty Party has nothing to do. I am a Liberty Party USA. I keep telling you that. I don't know why you don't want to accept that. But look, this is laughable. You heard the Secretary-General came out here and said that he was hoping that these people will be rehabilitated and they will sin no more. However, they decide to continue to sin. So let them bring the holy water. Let ANC bring the holy water, and then perhaps the other people will not say, look, Mr. So, ANC going nowhere. They stay right here. Whether these people are rehabilitated or not, they are all members of this collaborating political party. What ANC has done is to shine light on some of the ills in our society. And I think ANC, for me, ANC in a better position, in a better negotiating position when it comes to negotiating the position of second or whatever. So I think ANC, they're doing
second or what? When you say negotiate, second for what?
Vice presidency. Because
why you kept pushing this second, this person will go for what?
We know exactly ANC does not have the vote right now to win.
Who has the vote? Who get the vote?
The collaborating political party. None of them have a vote.
No, you're being very specific. So if you say ANC does not have the vote, you are simply telling me somebody on there, somebody on who has the vote. Who has the vote?
No. ANC does not have the vote by itself. Bernard Euro Party. Can you hear me?
Well, hearing you. Go ahead.
So Bernard Euro political party does not have the vote. They're going to have to win by coming together.
What's about Liberty Party?
Liberty Party cannot win by itself.
What's about Unity Party?
With all the Chilangi that is coming out of the.
What's about Unity Party?
Unity Party cannot win by itself either, especially if.
So then, on what basis? So then, on what basis you kept pushing this sort of conspiracy theory? Cummins goes second. Cummins goes second to Boyka. So then, what is the measurement?
Cummins has the ability to be one of the best leaders in Liberia, but Liberians are not quite aware of that. And Cummins, just quite recently, before Cummins started coming out of the shell of showing himself, and the fact that he's behind the curve. So the best way Cummins can show that he's a true leader is to go second. And
you don't believe in his leadership, but you want to make him number 2. So when the president is incapacitated, this is ridiculous. Samson told you need to stop this. You guys are driving that question, the country into chaos.
This is a winning strategy. I am a strategist. I'm an engineer, so I play my numbers game. I know numbers. So I'm just telling you, this is time for strategy. So the best strategy, we know, all of us, those of us that are in the diaspora, we know Honorable Cummins is the best leader ever in Liberia. However, the Liberian those that are going to vote, they don't know that. So I'm saying, and with some of us that suggest here, Cummins goes second. And if he not present, he would then demonstrate his leadership ability, and Liberian would gravitate towards that. And before long, Cummins
do you think? Okay, before I go to the next person, the child is 9 years born, and the alligator, the child eating pancanana. Do you think the folks you people supporting to Joseph Boyka, you are a Boyka person here, the folks surrounding Joseph Boyka, can they create any recommendation? Even if Cummins were to come to they say, okay, let me go with this old man here.
This was my statement that I made first, that I said Cummins and ANC are in a strong negotiating position, because the rest of the people don't have money. Cummins has money.
Oh, you want him money, but you don't. Oh, when you sounded so ridiculous on this network here against something to. Okay, you know why? Because you want Cummins money, but you don't want Liberian people does not know his vote, right? They know his money.
Okay, well, I will catch you on the rebound. Let other people get involved.
You are a complete disgrace, something to.
There's no big deal about that.
All right.
I accept my responsibility.
All right, bye-bye. Your party can't even feature a candidate. You are unable to even present somebody from your party.
You told me bye-bye. I tell you said bye-bye. Why are you still dealing with me?
You guys are the one causing problem. Let me go. Yeah, go. Let me go to this number here. 347 number 7681. This is unbelievable.
Hello, Mr. So?
Yeah, 347. Are you there? 7681.
Yeah, I'm here, Mr. So.
Okay, what's your name and where are you calling from, buddy?
Oh, yeah, I'm Eugene Harry, calling from Minnesota.
All right, go ahead. What's the point?
Yeah, first of all, before I start anything, I want to congratulate you for this show, because this, as far as I'm concerned, when anybody asks me, I consider this show to be the best show ever, because whatever I see this show on, I'm still into this show. And thank you for allowing my papi, Mr. Too, but please take it easy with my papi.
They're not old men. We can't. The old men who are under the palm one tree and trying to cause damages and chaos, we need to tell them. Then they are not old people.
Mr. Too,
all right, I hear you, old man. He goes there. He gone.
Okay.
He's getting to cause trouble here.
Yeah, Mr. So let's get to the point. You see, I'm not a member of any party. To be very frank with you, but these guys, the GMB group, the Arizona Common Group, for me, on the side, these guys are confusing me totally, because I don't know who's the best person. Because GMB people will come out to say he's the best, they will say all sorts of things about Cummins. Cummins people will come out to say Cummins is the best, they will say all sorts of things about GMB. So then who the Liberian people take now?
So what do you think you as a Liberian people, what do you think you're listening to? What they are talking point, and that's the danger of media, because the diversity is in media to talking point. A lot of these things people process it and they are implemented. But why you as a citizen, what are you looking for from a leader? What are you looking for? Because these people, I can tell you, some of their people, if not or most of them, they have no sense of direction. They're not going to make a difference. They're not going to do it.
Mr. So, I strongly believe that these guys will not make a difference. To be very frank with you, I strongly believe these guys will not make a difference, because I don't even know where these guys are coming from. Look at the statement that the SG just made. Aloysius to look at the statement just made. Okay, the guy was saying that if you know the pig is dirty, why must he eat with the pig? Why must he eat with the pig? The pig is dirty. Don't play with it. Don't even eat with it. If you know this if GMB people know that coming is not right, let them forget about coming and go about the business. If coming people know that GMB people, or other people are dirty, let us forget about that and go by the business too. So we can have better Labrador tomorrow.
Yep.
We're talking about better Labrador, and these guys are the ones that come to make a change. There's a certain CDC told us yesterday that they were bringing change. But today, the change that we found ourselves in. And these guys saying they're bringing change and see what is starting. Who knows tomorrow what will happen if they take power? Who knows what will happen too?
Well, you have a point, and that's why we want them to keep to the point. But unfortunately, most of them they have people that they can't just control, all because they want to they want to protect their political base, and it's a complete disappointment. It's a complete disappointment. People want to, I think they just want to force their way through state power. Okay, let me go to this other person here. We'll soon be wrapping up because I get a second. You get any point to make before you go?
No, okay, so I'm always on the show. I'm doing the show. As I said, this is my best show. You, George, for Professor Zawo, not forgetting my senior player, something Bakuto. Yeah.
Where you saw that man bouncing long? What can I play you now? Where you saw him playing?
Mr. So, that's my senior player over there.
All right, thank you, my man. Okay.
Thank you,
all right. Let me see this number here. 475. Are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Yeah. Look, I just don't know. The idea, I am appalled, especially people putting their own rules together, and you have other people outside or people embedded within the system, and they try to circumvent that rules. They try to change it without coming together to sit, to have a discourse, because people feel it goes in their direction. That's dangerous for the country, because when they do that, they are simply telling me tomorrow when they take state power, that's how they're going to do things. And they will potentially militarize their country because they will want to hold on to state power. That's the whole danger of that. And so the Nyomli Kanga Lawrence, the Joseph Boyka, the Benana Ure, they all needs to come out to speak. Comey has come out and expressed his dissatisfaction, followed with a press release of a consistent violation. We haven't heard anything publicly. I believe Omer Boyka was on a network, but I think he's very muted. And that's the danger of this whole thing. If people, if you think you're going to throw his surrogates out there to be causing, to be having this, creating this sort of chaotic situation, then they are not doing that. They are not doing us good. So it's not just going to be a CPP affairs. Then they has become a Liberia affairs, because these people are seeking national office. And if you want to get to national office, you need to come clean. You need to start it so that we'll see it, so it will be evidence that we can trust you with state power. Other than that, they will be no different as the CDC, because they want to change things, they want to do things. Then what's the point? What is the point?
So they can never be like CDC. The fact remains that apart from Mr. Comey, and I keep saying this, I support this government, but I say it for free. In the whole collaboration, Mr. Comey is the only alternative after President Weah. Apart from Mr. Comey, neither the Boaka nor the Ure can make a good president of our nation. But let me say something. Let's keep our heads up and our fingers crossed. You see what happened in Lima County with the child woman and that other lady election when Dana Ure went in, and there was a whole lot of commotion with her. They were shooting, people were hurting each other and all that. If we are not careful, it will repeat itself, but it will be even deadly in Monrovia, because the way people doing things. You understand? I'm telling you seriously, this is a convention. Let the people go around and convene the voters there and explain to them their ideas, their strategies, and their policies, and let the voters have a clear mind or open mind to go and vote. You go and put your knee down one paper and care one person will go represent black voting. It's not how we do it. It's not how we do things in Liberia. But this is how these guys being manipulating the whole system. And I'm saying to myself, Kumi is a victim. Kumi is a victim in this thing. But again, the ANC people want to show that, well, we are resilient, and you know, we can fight it, we can change it. You can change those kind of mindset, brother. You guys are core artists when it comes to our political arena. They are core artists. They know how to play the game. They will go to all ends to do anything to put Kumi on the sideline. I don't care how Kumi saying it, Kumi cannot win while they go to the other way around, Kumi cannot win it. Because they already know what they want. They kind of hold each other. Kumi was the only other Kumi in this equation because they want more numbers and more money.
No, maybe they need money. They want his money, but they don't want to vote. All right, Mama, thank you. I will soon be leaving here to get a second program, 8 o'clock with local community thing here. All right, thank you so much, Mama. Okay, 347, are you there? 347-3348. Go ahead quickly.
Yeah, good afternoon from my end, Mr. Tour. Thank you for having me on your show. My name is Fred Dennis Monday. I'm calling from the state of New York.
Welcome, Sonawa.
Yeah, Mr. Tour, the whole, thing that is happening in Liberia concerning politics is those that, playing the politics in our country, everybody is self-centered. Everybody is seeking their own interest. If it's not me, it shouldn't be this person. None of them. All the noise is making about collaboration, even why? Even why? From now to 2023, even why? If Waka go, they having to go for second round. Actually, they will be second round. They can't defeat Joey in first round. If they will, they can't have it in first round. If Waka go, coming will repeat history. You won't support Waka. And if coming goes, Waka won't support coming. And politics, from time immemorial in Liberia, there.
So that kind of Craig Kingdom, what they want us to live, right? Craig, they all wants to come out at once. Nobody want to kind of support one another. Okay, my man.
In the history of Liberia, we have broke that record by allowing Winston Tottenham to go first. If that can happen in a collaboration, then they will do well. Other than that, they just wasting their time.
Okay.
Thank you for me.
Thank you so much. Let me go to the last caller here for the date, and 678 number 2359. Are you there?
Yeah, thank you so much, Mr. Soul, for bringing me on here, and also thank you to the listening audience, and also thank you for looking at the issues and discussing it without, inciting any kind of bias, right? You discuss the issues on the playing field where both sides discuss. I know at times people think that you are favoring one political party, but I don't see that yet, right?
I don't even play mind to this. I don't play mind to these people. Then
one thing that I want people to understand: people are telling the ANC to get out of the collaboration. First of all, you should understand why we came together. I think it was at the request of the Liberian people that we should find one political party to go against this government. And why so soon? Other people knew that this government today that we have was going to be dysfunctional and not working in the interest of the people. Others are asking the ANC to get out of the political parties. Why would you ask a political party that is doing the right thing, following the law and following the rules and regulations in a collaboration? And again, it's not just easy to walk away. We already have a framework document that we are working with, right? Mm-hmm. How do you walk away? It's not easy to just walk away, as people say. And if for any reason that somebody should walk away, it would not be the ANC. Because the ANC have been the one that have protected this brand up to this time. So we are not leaving to go anywhere. And the issues of people coming up to say where Mr. Cummings should go as a VP. I want somebody to start these shows when Mr. Cummings come on, right? He's making the case. People want to settle. You just want to settle for little, right? Mm. You know what? We're not going to fight. We're not going to discuss anything. Settle for this. Who is there to determine what job you do? First of all, You come into a race, you are not even started yet, but settling for second place. So that
I think he perfectly articulated it. That stuff, it just, I don't know, people wake up and just it doesn't make no sense.
Right? People should be here accountable for whatever they are done and continue to do, right? This election 2023, is about the features of our country. It's about the features of our young people. It's about the features of Liberians and Liberians in the diaspora. Do you want to go back to develop your country? And again, consider this, Mr. Soul. This election is about PPL. The present, the past, and the future. We are in the present now, all right? We are in the present and you see the past. People have served and the record is there. Guys, we are not going to sit here and play around. And the future is Mr. Coming. What do you want? Make that decision. Nobody going to sit here and push anything on us, right? And those that into this game, Facto, they are wasting their time. The Liberian people are watching. So thank you for bringing me on, brother.
Thank you so much. Okay, let me go to our own Amos Joy for the last caller here before we wrap up. I have to be back here by 8 o'clock. Caller, I'm sorry. Mr. George, go ahead quickly before I go.
Yes, thank you, Mr. So I just call it for 2 minutes. And so let me say this. All these things are happening. So it just to tell you the way Nigeria has been run. This is why you see Liberia is not developed, because the nasty policy that will happen in Nigeria. You go to work and sign a document. Then you want to go outside of that document to invent something again. What that tell you about the kind of character that we have in Liberian politics? Now, since they said this, the man, Mr. Commission and spoke, why is what the story he's telling is lie? Why Joseph Walker, then now you only come now. If that was there, why they are not coming to debunk the statement that the man made? Why they are not coming to tell the Liberian people, no, this is what happened. This is an actual story. Why they cannot come up to dispute what the man has said? This is to tell you to read instead of 4 years. These are the things that people being doing behind that. Now, Mr. Cummings are taking into touch, exposing the kind of way they do business in Nigeria. And you have one of Mr. Walker Surrey yesterday said the only way that they can win is by using the black voting. Now, when you say that, no way they can win.
That's not even a priority type of voting here. You know, they take us something, this sort of system that was here to Adam's day and did not work, and the people began to change it. They want to restructure it and put it. So we're not just going to leave it with CPB. This is not CPB. It is about the future of the country. And these people here is part of the ploy because they want to bring Joseph Boyka. Boyka is so disappointing to see a state man who presided as a number 2 person to see things, or some of the high core supporters to be saying things, and he's not even saying anything at all. So what does that suggest to me? Or people try they want to put in there to macromanaging again? Is that what they want us to do? I don't think it's not going to work. So it's not a CPP. Let them go to primary. Let them go to primary. If they think they are popular with the Liberian people, let them go to primary. There's no pledge delegate here. We are not in a golden stone age where one person, who the hell you are that you think you want to cast my vote? Is that every Democrat vote for Democrat in this country here? That's why they're not looking at the issue. They're not even willing to talk about anything. You wake up and who told you, say you compare that if you're from ANC, you must vote for ANC, or if you're from Unity Party, you must vote for Unity Party. Is that how you want to run the country? That party association? Where are these parties? Where is the party headquarters?
This is what these guys, that's a hearing agenda they got. But thank God that the ANC exposed this thing so we can see what these folks, the plot we're going to be looking at, what they want to do to the country.
But I think what has happened, ANC, I think the red put bone in the throat of these people here. It's like, okay, this is what we want to do, and then they will go away. But let them stay in there. We'll force them, we'll compel them, those hypocrites, those political sycophants who running from party to party when they go this way after whatever the date and they are no longer accommodated, then they turn into chameleons, bring in new face and jump to this other party here. But you know what? That country is cursed, Liberia. All these things that is happening is not for nothing. That country is cursed. I don't know why we always embrace bad ideas and glorify and reward bad people for whatever reason. This is why we are where we are. But George, I gotta be back here to this evening here because I really don't want to article something. But Boyka, Benena Yuri, Nyobli Kanga Lawrence, I think Cummings came out now and came out openly that the process, their violation. Like you said, they need to also come out. They need to tell us why things want to change overnight. So this is no longer within the purview of the CPP again. It is all of us future, because if we do not protect the modern democratic process of Liberia, we are going to be the victim of it. And these people, they are certain group of people thinks that they get dominion over something and they want to force and squeeze their way. And what that's going to happen as they are doing, if we don't frown on this, when these people get to state power, they're going to militarize that country. And that's how they're going to be another Robert Mugabe. Because why? They're going to squander, they're going to scrap that country to their own advantage. They don't like that country, and that's exactly what they are exhibiting. How many, let's look at it, how many political parties they have aligned themselves with. So they only want to go somewhere where there's bread and butter. When hard times come, they jump, they go to these other places. It's not fair. It's not fair. There are two conspiracy here. They're acting like what is this Donald Trump former Bernard Steve Bennett type of conspiracy now they are pushing. You go number two, you don't have the number. Nobody knows where they are getting their number. Nobody knows where they are getting their pool from. Okay, if we are talking about numbers, then there should be no damn vote. George Weah won massively. So George Weah get a number. Let us give the country next to George Weah. So what are they talking about? That they do not want to go to the process. And people want to change the things overnight because they want to bulldoze their way. It's not going to happen.
No, when I said that, yeah, just about here busy the other night. Just made I have the number. Look at the calls that were coming in. Only one caller said they're supposed to support that.
Samson Toll. Where Joseph Boyka get a number from?
Yeah, I think I brought a link to you.
I saw that. I don't know. Those, you know, I don't understand. If somebody call the other day, oh, when 4 or 5 person call, 10 person go to Joseph Boyka, 3 person go to something. What sort of TRA is that? What is that? It doesn't make sense.
They go and support the people and say, oh, these are all supporters of Joseph Boyka.
They're not even qualified voters. All right, guys, I gotta go. Libra.
Yeah.
Samson Toll.
We don't need you and Amos on our collaborating political party.
You don't even have Samson Toll. You don't even have a party. You don't have a party. You don't have a party. So you don't even get a vote. So all these things you're doing here, it just start right in Sacramento. You don't even cross nobody.
We don't need you and Amos George political commentary. We will do well. The collaborating political party.
All right, you need to tell. We need to see all of these presidential candidate medical certificate. I don't want the country is already in economic crisis. We don't want anybody getting there to be a liability on the country. You get there the next day, you can't take a ride to Kakata and then they can't fly you to Ghana and bring you to UK for medical checkup. That's ridiculous. We don't want to have. We don't need more medical. More liability on the country. Bye bye. The liberal progressive. Yeah, why you come from with it number two, number? Why if you're popular, you go through, let the process plays out. Simple as it is.
Look at what that framework says. Lay up credit. Go to the convention. Speak to the people. Make your case.
Yeah. Are you guys mathematicians? When this other group of people vote, the other group of people, then we'll get it when then where other people come from. Like some sort of stupid people, we just stupid, like you think you just want to create, you just want to manufacture something and just throw it and shove it down in people's throat. Gentlemen, have a pleasant evening. I will catch you here this evening.
I will catch you.